Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today I'm going to be comparing the book Where The Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens to the recent film release. This will be spoiler free. I actually don't think that we need any spoilers to compare the book and the movie, so if you haven't read or watched it but want to and don't want to be spoiled, feel free to continue watching. So Where The Crawdads Sing was a debut novel by Delia Owens released in 2018 and it took the world a bit by storm. This book was chosen for the Reese Witherspoon Hello Sunshine book club in September of 2018, and from that point it went from strength to strength. It hit the New York Times bestseller list in 2019 and spent 32 weeks in the New York Times bestseller list in 2020, and altogether has spent 135 weeks in that bestsellers list. So it's been pretty well received. 12 million copies have been sold worldwide, and I read the book a couple of years ago and absolutely loved it. Thought it was definitely worth the hype. If you're unfamiliar with the book of Where The Crawdads Sing, the general premise is that it's a coming of age story following a young girl called Kaya who lives on the marshes of North Carolina in the 50s and 60s. This book takes place over a split timeline, so we actually start as Kaya is a young adult and she is being charged with the murder of Chase Andrews. And then we sort of flip back and forward between the current court case and her childhood and the events that led up to Chase's death and then what happens in the court case and subsequently. So one of the things that really stood out in this book was the nature writing. And Delia Owens by trade is a zoologist and a conservationist, and that absolutely comes through in the book. We hear lots about the wildlife in the marsh, and Kaya herself takes a pretty big interest in it. And that was beautiful to read, and it really immersed you in the atmosphere of the book and was, as I say, like my favourite part of the book, this beautiful nature that you can just picture around the plot of the story. So I went to watch the film this weekend with my lovely mother, and as she also read it a couple of years ago at the same time as me. So we were a little bit trepidatious going in because we both really rated the book, and as most bookworms will attest, quite often film adaptations do not do the book justice at all. So into the cinema we went, not quite sure whether this was gonna cut the mustard or not, and the first scene as we enter the North Carolina marsh and they're doing all the intro bits, my heart dropped, because what we have is the beautiful North Carolina marshes and then a CGI bird which looks like a robotic lump of Play-Doh sweeping across the marshes, and I was like, no, the best part of this book was the nature and you're giving me a Play-Doh robot on the first scene. And I was quite concerned that this was going to be the tone of the movie, but luckily things only improved from there. So Reese Witherspoon is the one that sort of commissioned this work following its success in her book club. She really got this project off the ground, and Hello Sunshine, her production company, was involved in the creation of this movie. So the first thing that I want to tackle is the casting, and the casting was phenomenal for this film. So in the role of Kaya we have Daisy Edgar-Jones, and she did a phenomenal job. She absolutely captured the essence of Kaya as a quiet, subdued but internally powerful woman, and I loved watching her. She was magnetic in this film. And then supporting cast wise we had Taylor John Smith playing Tate, Harris Dickinson playing Chase, David Strathern playing Tom, who was Kaya's lawyer, and Sterling Mater Jr. playing Jumpin. All of these characters were perfect for the roles they were cast for, but particular shout out to Harris Dickinson, who played Chase, because I think he absolutely captured the essence of that character. I won't go into the storyline of Chase, but if you've read it, you will know his role within the plot, and Harris Dickinson did a phenomenal job of reimagining that for the film. So as I sort of mentioned earlier, the intro to the movie left me feeling a little bit concerned that the beautiful nature and atmosphere created in the book was not going to translate to the film, but it was only that one scene at the beginning in which I felt like that. It absolutely did capture the nature, and there were some beautiful scenes on the boats in the marshes and on the beaches and around Kaya's drawings throughout that were on point, and I really, really enjoyed it. The atmosphere was definitely created throughout. There are multiple key moments in the plot, especially when Kaya is with her family at the beginning of the story, and that was well done. And then later her relationships with Tate and Chase, also very well done. And I overall thought this was an excellent adaptation of the film. It very much stayed true to the main plot points. Having not read the book for about 2 years at the time of watching the movie, I felt like it captured all of the key points, all of the key moments that I remembered and retained from the book. So possibly if I had done a more recent read, I would have picked out things that were missing from the film, but whatever was missing from the film obviously wasn't a key plot point because I don't remember it. So in conclusion, this is an excellent adaptation, and I highly recommend both the book and the film. And I don't think I prefer one over the other, to be honest. The film absolutely made me cry at the end, and the book didn't. So that's something the film has going for it over the book. But the book did have much more in the nature side of things than the film. So I would say they are pretty equally matched, and I'd say there is benefit in both reading and watching. So if you've enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you very soon with another one. Thanks guys.